Yeah, I haven't played any Yakuza games yet. I have a few of them because I got them on sale earlier this year.
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
Nope.
But remember what the note said.
Haboosk! Nope. Haboosk! Nope. Yeah, no, I totally jumped the gun there. Oopsies.
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Happy.
But remember what time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter.
It sure do.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Happy.
But remember what time did it? 6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
No, that's wrong.
Fucking TikTok. God.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
You heard me.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and
Yeah,
place
TikTok
written in the
Hop is
note.
great.
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that.
TikTok clock, also great. Both in Mario 64 and Mario Kart.
Taka, just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they found a way out.
And we
They
thought
gave
Taka
the note
was
to
smart.
Taka. What was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less.
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Kiyotaka scrap of paper.
I got it!
I think you mean
When I
Kiyondo.
searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Eric, we've been over this. We don't
Taka
fat shame
died
dead
clutching
people
the note.
or living people.
Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means
got
Hifumi
it.
knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
Yes, the Chaos Goblin
In
was
fact,
fed.
He was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
No.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was
I mean, he
truly
is,
and
but like we
completely
wouldn't.
dead.
We don't know how big the vents
second
are in this
body
place.
discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
I keep
Whoever
forgetting this is
did
on
the
mobile.
mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the
Yeah,
repository.
do it.
So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time,
Oh,
we
yeah,
all
money.
split up
That's-
and were searching for Taka's missing body.
I suppose that's important.
In other words, during
Both
that
the
time,
person and, like,
none
the
of us have
actual
alibis.
concept of currency and whatnot.
But me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Wow, okay.
Who are you calling a walrus?
Can't believe she just got walrused.
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
What about it?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi,
Thank you, Eric.
then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
I wouldn't go that far.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
And it's super smooth.
He's right, though.
Cat
I
escaped.
don't understand it either.
Freaking
The
cat.
Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
Code Gray!
So
Code
the question
Gray!
is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
Ooh, I know.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
It's none of them,
Those
because
were
she
accounted for in
doesn't
other
have a
rooms
wound.
too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Not in one swing, at least.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
Hello.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Congratulations. Guys, I have
So
cookies.
then, what was used to kill
I saw them and
Hifumi?
I was like, man, I bet you Nick would like these. And it turns out Nick had the same thought.
Yeah, I just forgot about the thought because I'm silly.
I'm not sure if y'all can hear the cat, but he is complaining because I won't let him loose into this room without the cord. Bye.
Love you.
Oh, wait. One last question. Can I have a tea and a shot?
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
How about my
Maybe
tart lemonade and
Justice Hammer
squad?
4?
Well, whatever it was,
I'm sorry, Sol, I can't share with the class. Unless you want me to email you a
able to
cookie.
move around so freely with the weapon. How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you, John.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, it's wrong.
The cat is always the killer. Let's not kid ourselves here.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris.
I'm very
But
sorry
some
for
reason,
all of your ears, by
one
the
of
way.
them had been scrubbed clean.
Stop. Homicide.
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
God, this smells really
If
good.
the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Of course Wonton wants into the
That's
nurse
true.
aid, because
That
he
would
can't.
explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
I mean, I'm sure everyone would be fine with
So
it if
Hifumi
he...
moved Taka's
wanted
body
to
to
scream
the
at everyone.
repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Because it's the internet. They all love the cats.
The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
It's
So the
Hifumi.
idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Again, it's Hifumi. The biggest bottom out of the entire cast.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming
So you
the
already
rule
had
holds
Wonton
true,
cameo.
It is simply impossible that two people work
Just
together
gonna
on this.
take that for future use.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Whoops. Nope. Other way around. Other way around.
Shoot! Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
Thank you again, Joan. I will get to that
In this case,
hydration.
however,
Whoops.
there were two
That's
murders.
that is the wrong
Based on the rules,
mouse
even if
button.
more than one, only the
I
one who
will get to
actually,
that
assuming the rule
hydration
holds
post
true.
haste.
That is.
But that only really, in this case, however, there were two murders.
Yoink.
Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is.
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were
Yoink.
two murders.
There we go.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
Yeah.
No.
There we go. Slug.
Since there were two
Excuse me.
murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
That was a freaking good
If there's
cookie,
only
by the
been
way.
one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Poor Taka.
They made him carry out the first murder
didn't
so he
deserve
couldn't
this.
back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
I feel like
And
it
only
probably
looked
wasn't too
like one
difficult to
person
convince
because
Hifumi to
that's
kill
how the
Taka,
true
given that
killer
he
designed it to look.
was like his
A single suspicious
competition
individual, a
for
similar
like
weapon used
being
in
the
each crime, disappearing
affections
bodies,
of alter ego. I don't
creating
know.
one seamless set of circumstances. They made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then to avoid the no
because there's only
accomplices
like
rule, they
3
simply
smart people in this
killed their
cast.
accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan.
And that's
from the
assuming you
very
count
beginning.
Makoto.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
He continues to be creepy, and also a dick. And he does have some of the brain cells.
But then who was the
Not
one
as many as
pulling
Kyoko, though.
Fumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Uno! Round of applause, everybody.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
You sure are.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
No, you didn't. You specifically
the idea
chose to
that I
have
would
Hifumi
choose to
work
spend
for
any
you.
amount of time interacting with him. That I would go within 10 feet of that shit brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Oh, come on.
Shoot!
They both did a lot of screaming. Uncharacteristic screaming, in fact. Right?
I got it!
Yeah, they were the only ones who
behavior they had
encountered
in
the
common
robot.
has to do with the suspicious
Except for
individual
Hiro,
in the
who
suit,
was the robot,
doesn't
but...
it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
No, they're not.
Sorry.
We're all high school
As he
students.
said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Yeah.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
No.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Eric, we're accusing Celeste of murder. It's good stuff.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab,
She's very offended about it.
it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah, again.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
What a scream indeed. Ha-ah!
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, absolutely it
I'm
is.
talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Lights flickering again. Jeez. Yeah. I didn't even notice that at
remember her
first.
saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then
You
pay
shouldn't have
attention.
known about Taka's
Sakura,
about
Toko, and
Taka's
I
death.
were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?